Article 14, the creation and fall of humanity. We believe that God created human beings from the dust of the earth and made and formed them in His image and likeness. Good, just, and holy, able by their will to conform in all things to the will of God. But when they were in honor, they did not understand it, and did not recognize their excellence. But they subjected themselves willingly to sin and consequently to death and the curse, lending their ear to the word of the devil. For they transgressed the commandment of life, which they had received, and by their sin they separated themselves from God, who was their true life, having corrupted their entire nature. So they made themselves guilty and subject to physical and spiritual death, having become wicked, perverse, and corrupt in all their ways. They lost all their excellent gifts which they had received from God, and retained none of them except for small traces which are enough to make them inexcusable. Moreover, all the light in us has turned to darkness, as the Scripture teaches us. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Here, John calls the human race darkness. Therefore, we reject everything taught to the contrary concerning human free will, since humans are nothing but the slaves of sin and cannot do a thing unless it is given them from heaven. For who can boast of being able to do anything good by oneself? Since Christ says, "No one can come to me unless drawn by the Father who sent me." Who can glory in their own will, when they understand that the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God? Who can speak of their own knowledge in view of the fact that those who are unspiritual do not receive the gifts of God's Spirit? In short, who can produce a single thought, knowing that we are not able to think a thing about ourselves by ourselves, but that our competence is from God? And therefore, what the Apostle says ought rightly to stand fixed and firm. God works within us both to will and to do according to His good pleasure. For there is no understanding nor will conforming to God's understanding and will apart from Christ's involvement, as He teaches us when He says, "Apart from me, you can do nothing."